What's up, guys? Happy New Year. 2026 is upon us, and I am recording this video because I'm getting a lot of questions about my buy box. You know what? Like, I've changed it a few times. I've adapted it. I'm trying not to add too much, but you don't put enough, then it becomes overwhelming and it's too much information. So I want to make another video, say what's up. It's been a minute. 2026 is here. Deal Sauce is always here. We are gaining momentum. We are getting stronger. We are doubling down our efforts on 2026. So stay tuned for more updates and a ton of cool stuff that's going to be coming within the first half of the year for Deal Sauce. And let's get right into it. I'll share my screen. I'll show you guys what's going on, and we will check out the latest buy box. I'll be honest, it hasn't really changed. All right. So for those who are asking, I'm going to probably send this video to you, and I'll continue to send this video to those who are asking, but I appreciate you so much for bird dogging, wholesaling, connecting, private money lenders. You guys are the glue. You guys are getting the stuff done. That's how you get paid. That's how we make money as a whole community. So nothing's really changed. I would say I am keeping my preferred market super tight. All right. Do I own houses in Rhode Island? Do I own houses in Florida? Do I own houses up and down the East Coast? Yes. Would I buy a sub 2 deal in Connecticut and Rhode Island? Yes, I would. Would I buy a dope multifamily deal, terms, RV park, mobile home park? Yes, I would in other states, and especially locally here. But when I'm doing these big conversions, I have to consider my crew, the guys that they're not going to travel 4 hours each way, unless that's a one-off. So to keep it super basic, I'm trying to stay within this little bubble here. I always say it's about an hour and a half of, my preferred location, this Manchester Concord area. All right. And then there's the radius. So Southern Maine, not, would I buy something in the top of New Hampshire? Of course I would. We have friends that have houses up there, and that's where people go snowmobiling, and we call it God's country, right? It's pretty dope, but that's not my backyard of business. Those are one-off instances. So I just want to be super clear on that. And then furthermore, same with Vermont. But there's enough deals right here to get going and to have plenty of business. Single family homes. That was one of the questions that just came up. So single family home guys, I'm not in the market of buying single family homes. If it's a flip, I will do cash in terms. Obviously flips have to make sense. So wholesale deals. But I also will buy single family homes without an intention of, it doesn't matter. I'll do a buy and hold. I will do a midterm rental. I will do co-living. It does not matter. What I would say is it matters on calling on good properties in good markets, getting great, fantastic terms. That's how everyone makes money. That's how you get to make more money on your assignments. That's how I get to make money and make it work. And then it comes down to repairs. So I can't add all that information. I would say if you have a creative deal in any of these New England markets, I want to see it. I want to see all the creative deals, because there's no one in this market that has done more creative, that knows more creative, and that is going to probably buy it faster, quicker, give you a decision much easier. So let's do some business together. Single family homes, I will do those. Again, some of the best stuff I've had are in the best markets in Southern New Hampshire. I love this little Southern New Hampshire pocket right here. That's where I live. I live in Londonderry, New Hampshire. And there's the town right next to me is Derry. Derry's in these multifamilies in Derry. They're the best. All right. For me, I know the market. So I think we got that out of the way. Single family homes, cash, creative, flips, buy and holds, but they got to make sense. Now the cool stuff, creative finance on the buildings. Guys, I'm looking for some legacy properties, I would call it, almost some fantasy, Phil, what do they call it? A bucket list? I have bucket list items, and some of those are fire stations, an old ass post office. I think that would be super cool. But we just bought a motel. We have a church. We have church motel properties. It's crazy. Old school buildings. New England has a ton of old history, but what we're also trying to double down on is we're going to take advantage of some of the zoning that's changed recently, where if it's a commercial building, potentially in a downtown area, that may get a multifamily designation right out of the gate, where I don't have to jump through too many hoops. So I hope that makes sense for you. Let's get out of this and let's go into how I would find these. So Deal Sauce, real quick. Now, if you guys don't know what Deal Sauce is, you may have been living under a bridge, sleeping under a rock, and I'm only joking, but check it out. Deal Sauce, property leads searching software, and it's only going to get better. Now, we could search the whole state. I'm just going to type in New Hampshire and look at this. Better than PropStream, you can search the whole state. We can search multiple areas. But what I'll do is I'm going to try to mimic that same buy box. All right. I'm going to come up to this Portland area. I'm going to come up to the Mount Washington area, the White Mountains. I'll come into Massachusetts a little bit. I'm not even going near Boston. I will buy deals in Boston. We've done deals in Boston. I just prefer to stay out of the city. And this is my backyard. There are plenty of deals here. Crexy, go on Crexy. Bring the addresses in here. Go on loopnet.com. Find multifamily, commercial buildings, industrial buildings, mills. Find all those buildings on there and bring them into here. Search the address. You're going to get more information with Deal Sauce, but you can go see who had a property for sale potentially somewhere else. But right now, if we're going to go just basic, we'll get rid of the townhomes and condos. I would buy a townhome creative if it was sub 2 or seller finance. In the right price, obviously. Apartments, we'll keep all this in. We can do active. Right now is the time to buy homes. I would be doubling down right now with the lull in the market, buyers, sellers, uncertainty of the marketplace right now. This is the time to take advantage. Honest to God, this is what I would be into this market. So we're not going to really do much else. I don't think we want to do, if we're going to do something, we can go do a search right now. We could do a free and clear. So out of the active on market right now, we could click the button, hit free and clear. And then what we can also do, we can do one more. All right. And let me show you how to do days on market. And let's say we want to find stuff that is 90 days plus on market, because we want to say, listen, they're on market. They are motivated. They're clearly selling, but they are clearly not selling because they're still on market. And check it out. We have Baldwin, Maine. We have some Vermont. Did I even go into Vermont? I must have searched a little bit into Vermont, didn't I? Yeah, I poked into Vermont over there. I saw that. That's all good. But what we could be doing, Springfield, there must be a ton. I would probably prefer to get out of Vermont right now for this example. Move this over just a smidge. There we go. All right, guys, these are all prospects that are 90 plus days on market. Methuen, Mass, 74 Ayers Village Road. I probably know this area. What is going on with this? 1,200 days, 1.2 million. I think they were selling land. I'm pretty sure I've looked at that before. So they are probably having a land play on this. That's all right. But we can come down here. I'm going to aggregate right now by wholesale score, and I'm going to see the people that are going to be more distressed than most. All right. So right now, this person in Lawrence is 991 wholesale score. We have one in Portland, Maine right here. We have Lowell right here, Manchester right here, 1,300 days on market. Something's going on here. Do we call Joan? Joan, how do I solve the problem? What's going on? Catch me up to speed. I'm not an agent. I am an investor. How do we get your buyer at Fair Deal Enterprise? Give me a fair deal. Let's go. All right. Let's go to another search ability. All right. So let's get out of the free and clear. We'll get out of the free and clear. We'll get out of the 90 days. We're going to get out of the active listings, and we're going to go right back into the listing information right here. We're going to go one more search technique. Now, we're not going to be calling agents on this one. So the method I just showed you was calling agents. Now, you can call agent. I've seen people lock up deals that they just went on the market and they were successful, right? So you could call someone and you can get an agent right on the phone. They just listed 7 days ago and say, hey, what's going on? I'd love to put in a full offer. If it's free and clear, and say, like, would your seller potentially be willing to hold paper? Would they be willing to seller finance portion? Maybe it's an investment property for them. So you could be helping with the tax burden, the tax strategy, but really just calling the agent is number one. You got to pick up the phone. We are giving you all the phone numbers inside of Deal Sauce. The phone numbers are going to be on the main screen. So you saw it at the listing, type in the address, or you get the address, scroll down, you had Joan's information right in there. Name, phone number, email. Furthermore, we're going to go search right now for expired listings. And this is where you don't call the agent anymore because it's expired, canceled, or withdrawn. You're going to actually pick up the phone. And if you actually have the right account with Deal Sauce, we have an unlimited skip traceability. So we're actually giving you the phone numbers right out of the top of the list. Like, you don't even have to look, just like the agent information on the basic subscription of Deal Sauce that we give you. When you have the hot subscription, you have it right smack dead right when you enter that property address. I'll show you what I mean right now. Guys, all of these techniques, I just went through this with Pace Morby legitimately 2 days ago. Pace was in town. We were hanging out with a bunch of friends. We had a meetup. There was probably 100, 125 people there. Fantastic time. And legitimately, countless times, within 15 minutes, we could find a deal. And I brought up an example. I wasn't able to call, but I showed an example of an address that we did recently where within 15 minutes we went on DealSauce, we pulled a small list, we qualified that list, we called the agents that were responsive, and we had a seller finance opportunity that is still an opportunity to this day if we wanted to buy it at our doorstep. And it was not a bad deal. It's just not a deal for me. So guys, it's this easy. I'm telling you, you just got to grab the data, make the phone calls, and you're off to the races. So let's get back into this. So we kept the same parameters, same area, search box, buy box, and I'm going to go for expired, withdrawn, and canceled over in this listing information. All right. Furthermore, I'm going to look to see when this went expired. I would go backwards, honestly, because someone could have sold a year ago or tried to sell and then the market freaked them out. And now they may be gearing back up to sell again. So I'm going to go present day to a year ago or so. And we have almost 3,000 expired listings. So let me zoom out of here. Check it out. All these listings right here, withdrawn, expired. So let's go pick one. Hillsborough, New Hampshire. This one says the list price was $290. It canceled after 73 days. Why did it cancel? I don't know. It canceled just around right before Christmas, so December. So what would I do with this? Check it out. Right at the top, if you have that HUT feature, now the HUT feature right here is the upgrade. If you have it, this is what you're going to find. You're going to find the phone numbers and emails to the potential owners of the home. So we're making it super, super, super easy to get a hold of these people. Don't worry about the do not call. Do your research, but this is just an advisory. All right. What else do we have here? This was canceled. Why was it canceled? Huge price reduction. So this could have been when they cancel a listing. Oftentimes you're going to find that it's, hey, we weren't seeing eye to eye, the agent, myself, or we no longer want to sell it. So you will have to qualify and ask the homeowner, say, and especially when you call the homeowner, you go, hey, I'm not an agent. I'm not looking for I'm not looking for a deal. I'm not looking for another listing. I am looking to make a purchase. All right. So this canceled. This one actually may have been a cancellation and it could have been labeled wrong. So I'd be careful. But those are the things when you come into DealSauce, you just do your research. So when it's canceled, this may have not come up sold. When the listing agent may have sold this, they could have only put canceled. And that's what you're seeing there. So I wanted you guys to be aware that withdrawn, canceled, and expired. Double check the listing. You can look at it. You can scroll to the bottom, see if it's sold, if the owner's still the owner, because oftentimes I've seen it's a handful of times that you'll call on one that might be, oh, it was sold. Oh, wow. It was mislabeled. It was inappropriately labeled. All right. 191 days on Fitchburg, Mass. Let's see if we can find a multifamily. Let's get to filters. Let's get rid of the single families and let's go backwards and see what's going on. All right. We have 368 multifamilies. I want to find a New Hampshire. All right. Let's go to expired. Let's go to Fitchburg. An old Victorian. Looks like it's clean. This expired. They wanted 420. This just came off the market. This just expired 3 days ago. So Felix owns it. Felix was only looking to make $100,000. This could be a deal. This could be a potential creative finance deal right here. Loan Depot. Oh my goodness. Loan Depot. So Felix took this out for $264 at 3.5 interest rate in 2019 from loandepot.com. Check it out. 2020, 319, 417, 2020. So he's trying to sell it right now for 420. Yeah, it's $100,000 delta or so. And now you pay an agent, you pay closing costs. What's left for Felix? This is a prime candidate right now for a creative finance opportunity. What is going on in this seller situation where he couldn't get that information? He couldn't get that purchase price. You could give it to him with taking over his mortgage, taking over his payments, structuring his equity over time. It's that simple, that easy. And this one is one that I actually probably would want to call on because this is a 100% creative finance deal that is a prospect. So guys, this is how easy it is. And it doesn't take much time. You just see what we're doing. I'm just picking right now. You can export these all at once, or you can go one at a time and go down the road, run and just call them all. It's that easy. It's that simple. And this is how it's done. So what else would I do if I was also looking for maybe some unique deals for my buy box? And I'm getting a little long-winded on this one, but why not, right? I want to just teach folks, whether it's my buy box or someone else's, this is how easy it is. So I went over to the commercial section of DealSauce, and I'm still going to do the same thing. I'm going to type in New Hampshire. Now, I could have saved that in the residential section and just kept going back to that search. We do have the ability in the filter section to save these filters down here, bottom left-hand side. But I went into New Hampshire. I'm going to try to mimic this same little buy box here. I'm going to try to stick within some parameters for education purposes only. All right, so we're in commercial. Now, I could do right now, we have this thing called multifamily AI. We have mobile home parks. We have all these different things. Now, I'll buy a lot of different assets in my market, but for training purposes here, I actually just want to do this. I'm going to show you something that's super cool. We have expired listings in the commercial area. Now, are they all expired listings, every commercial deal? No, because commercial properties, I've said this once, there's no MLS for the commercial. All right. There's no one place that you go and list your properties like the multiple listing services, like the MLS in the residential sector of business or in the asset classes. You can go to Crexy, you can go to LoopNet, you can hire your own brokerage, you can post it anywhere you want. There is no place saying that you have to go, here's your MLS number and this is it. No. So people have the choice to add their assets with different brokerages or different online portals. So that's why commercial gets a little bit unique, but we still have access to some. So look, we have 500 that have expired in the last, I don't even know what I searched, maybe a year. Let's see what I did. Yeah, I think I went last year. So we're looking at expireds only. Now I'm just thumbing through these, just like this one. This looks like a multifamily, an older multifamily building, absentee owner, active investor owned. What's the deal? What's the scoop? Expired for 500 grand and it expired April of last year. So about 8 months ago, motivated seller, 10K seller credits. What's going on? We're not going to call Michael. Mike looks like he's the owner too. I mean, or family, because the same name, Schnecker. Let's see. There's a delta of $178,000, $79,000, not that much. Adjustable rate at St. Mary's. I actually know these people. I do banking with them. This could be an arm where it doesn't make sense anymore. They got it in 19, and that's what you're going to see on larger multifamilies. So this may not be the right fit, but it could be a temporary fit. So you still got to call. We still got to find out. You don't really put your brain in their brain right now. We just need to understand what's going on. But this gentleman bought it in 19 for $285,000, got a loan for 228, and he's trying to sell it for 464. So find out what's going on. They have some other multifamilies. Maybe they're looking to just cash out and roll some money over. I don't know. This looks like a mixed use potentially, but all you do is just call and just ask. Same thing. I'm going to thumb through some of these here. Now I may put some other filters in here to speed this up. But I'm just trying to show you that I'm window shopping right now. I'm window shopping. I might call this one right here, the multifamily zoned, but I want to show you another one that might be unique. Oh, I know this one. This is a little multifamily near where some properties I own. All right. What's this? Bosquen. This is a 2-story building. What's this? Epsom. Do we call Car 5 Realty? Do we call Car 5 and hooks it and say, hey, what are you looking? You guys are trying to sell this thing. Let's see what they were doing. Not saying this is a play for a multifamily, but this might be something where you just go, hey, you're calling these places in these markets where there's people and there's someone that could buy this property and maybe knock it down, or you just build on top and convert it. So they're out of Salem, Mass. Car 5 Realty. They probably have debt on here. Let's see. Primary bank, 2.7 interest rate at 500,000. They'll probably hold paper. So is this the number of the Car 5? I don't know. When you go into the commercial sector, when you go into LLCs, it's a lot harder to understand who's who. Sometimes you're pulling up landlords and tenants. So you might want to research this address, the mailing address. You might want to look at Car 5 Realty and try to do some deep diving on Google. But you can also have some cross-reference to some names here. So you can do your investigation. And that's how I would get a hold of these commercial people. But let's go backwards again. Let's do some more window shopping. Goffstown. What's going on with this? This looks like a storefront with some apartments above. Great town. I know this property, but brick buildings like this is what I'm talking about. They are prime for conversion. Now, this one, it might be a little too far for me, or I just might not want it right now. But if there was something a little bit closer, look at this. Allenstown. Why is this commercial? It says R1 residential Keelan. What did they want? Allenstown's a good little town. We own a couple properties there. So well-maintained duplex. 419 expired. I want to call on this. This is exactly what I would buy all day long. So they have a loan from 2002. They probably don't owe anything. Yeah, 129. I doubt it. From 2002, they have a loan amount. I bet you this is free and clear. This has to be, or very close to. So all day long, this could be a seller finance opportunity or close to it. Figure out why they need to get out, but it looks vacant to me. So are they paying for this all throughout the winter? Do they have a tenant in there? Maybe they went expired and rented it. So we don't know. But I think this is a very good prospect. And this is all I would do is call the seller. That's it, guys. This is how easy it is to do deals, whether it's commercial, residential. You saw it. You heard it. This is Deal Sauce, but it's also my buy box. I'm using Deal Sauce. That's how easy deals are found. Sure. Can we go look for pre-foreclosures? Can we go for tax liens? Can we go do our organic searches on our own, probate, divorce, all the things? Yes, we can. Yes, you can in Deal Sauce as well. But for all intents and purposes, in the market we're in, what we're doing right now, I would step one right now, the free and easy, just about free, just about easy, I would say, is what I just showed you. On market, off market, expireds, on market 90 days, on market 30 days, 60 days, whatever you feel like doing, and being specific with the search parameters and the locations. Okay. And then what you got to do is pick up the phone and have some conversations. I promise you, if you made 15 phone calls a day, whether it's 15 agents or 15 homeowners, you're going to pick up momentum. 15 seems like a big number. You can probably do that within an hour. Get the lead information and start underwriting or passing it along. Hey, Justin, they said they would be open to creative finance. Hey, Justin, they said they'd be open to seller finance. Here is the numbers. So that's the last thing I'll say is this. The next conversation is, Justin, what if they raise their hand? What if I get someone on the hook? Perfect. What I would do? Great. So I can get back to my partner or my capital raiser or my underwriting team. We want to make sure this is a win-win for everybody, right? And you need to have the right purchase price, the right terms. Same for us. If we have to come in, do renovations, pay for closing costs, buy as is, do renovations, fix the bathrooms, the kitchens, the roof, all the things. We just need to make it a win-win. So can I get a bit of information, or can I give you some homework? So if we were going to do seller finance, I would ask you like, all right, so purchase price, let's hypothetically say it's the asking price you last had it. How about a down payment? Explain the levers, purchase price, down payment, terms. So guys, there's so many ways of doing this, so many great ways of just getting people to raise their hand and then taking it the next step and asking some questions. That's it. Hey, what'd you have in mind for a down payment? If you were going to do a seller finance, I gave you your asking price. We typically might put 5% down because we might have to put another 15% into the property and prove it. So now you have a nice property to lend on. What's the down payment? What is a monthly term or a monthly payment? What makes you happy? What excites you to get out of that multifamily, to get out of that absentee owner or that vacant property? What excites you so you can just be the bank and I can step in and take care of business from here on out? Guys, appreciate you so much. Deal Sauce, saucemydeals.com. That's where you go, saucemydeals.com. Get your free trial. Check out the hut. It's pretty awesome. Guys, we allow team members to come in on Deal Sauce. So you can bring your virtual assistant, you can bring a collaborator, you can bring a homie or two in, and there's no additional charge. So get in here before it goes away. I promise you guys, it's a tremendous amount of value. And I will see you on the next one. Any questions? My contact information is on that buy box. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Appreciate you.